Hi guys, my name is Nairi Ghazarian and my topic is role ambiguity in the workplace. Role ambiguity is a type of workplace stress. It's a lack of understanding in your role and expectations in the workplace, which comes from different tasks being placed upon a worker relating to their job or position. Role ambiguity is associated with negative attitudes and thoughts about one's job, which ultimately leads to ineffective job behaviors. It's also tied to higher levels of anxiety, burnout, and depression. My personal experience with role ambiguity, my job situation is unique in that I did not apply for a specific role but was recruited to assist employees higher up in the company with any work they needed help in. My main focuses are, however, in HR, marketing, and project management. This has honestly caused role ambiguity and role conflict because I play so many roles and my work schedule was on a day-to-day basis, and that unless I was working on a specific project, I would just work on anything that needed to be worked on that day. This led to a lot of stress and negative feelings about my job because I didn't really feel like I had an important role within the company, and I experienced a lack of motivation and really didn't enjoy my job, and I didn't work to the best of my abilities. The textbook says that role ambiguity can indeed result in stress and can be caused by a lack of regular performance feedback by supervisors. So, supervisors do play a really huge role in reducing role ambiguity because they have the authority to clarify the guidelines and expectations they have for you. So let's go down to the fundamentals, which is the issues in employee training. So I'm going to focus on the cognitive theories of learning because it applies best to my job. I work for a public adjusting company where you need to be quick on your feet and think fast and really know what you're doing in order to succeed. So this theory sees employees as information processors. So it is super important to fully understand what you're doing with the information that is being given to you well enough to be able to think about new and creative ways to problem solve, to apply in complex situations. I also chose to focus on the job characteristics model, which is a theory that emphasizes the role that certain aspects of a job play in influencing motivation. And what is a huge issue with role ambiguity is the lack of motivation that follows it. So the 5 core job characteristics that contribute to an employee's experience and worker satisfaction are skill variety, which is the degree to which a job requires a variety of different skills needed to fulfill a task. Task identity, which is having the ability to work on an entire work process rather than just bits and pieces of the project. Workers do find more meaning in their work when they can identify and complete a visible outcome. There's also task significance, which is how significant the task is on other people's lives. So when jobs hold more meaning and can improve the well-being of others, it motivates people to work harder. So think of healthcare workers. Then there's autonomy, which is how much freedom and discretion a role carries. So job-like managers and supervisors, they feel like they have more meaning because they have more responsibilities. And then there's feedback, lastly, which is how much the job allows the employee to receive direct feedback. This can improve overall performance because there's less role ambiguity and more clarity in expectations. So my article is called Impact of Role Ambiguity on Job Satisfaction, Mediating Role of Job Stress. So this study was done in Pakistan, and the sample was 350 employees at a banking sector. And the objective of the study was to understand the relationship between job stress and role ambiguity with job satisfaction. So they found that, surprise, surprise, there was a negative correlation between role ambiguity and job satisfaction. And it also showed and proved that supervisors play, like I said earlier, a huge role in mitigating that role ambiguity and work stress. So here's my solution. First and foremost, we need to improve employee training and orientation programs by being clear in the company's goals and having a good orientation plan in place. Also making it personal to improve relationships and build rapport between the subordinates and managers from the start. Also clearly defining all functions and expectations for each role in the job descriptions also. and even following throughout the orientation and even the interviewing process. Make sure that the candidates and employees' goals align with the company's goals to build that motivation so that they work harder because they also care about what we care about. Also, frequent check-ins with human resources. Make sure that everyone's happy in their job. Make sure no one's overly stressed. A little bit of stress is okay, but when it's affecting your everyday life and your mood and your output of work, that's when there's an issue. So by encouraging an open line of communication, having an open door policy between the employees and supervisors and human resources, that could really build trust and motivation. So also more frequent supervisor feedback, more employee evaluations done would help mitigate any of that role ambiguity. And lastly, anonymous surveys for employees to give feedback to supervisors on how they're doing their job and how they feel in the company. So keep it anonymous so that everyone's completely honest about how they feel, because let's be real, we're not gonna say that we're unhappy with our jobs if our names are on the survey. So that is all. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed it.